there's a lot of heat that's been stirring up around the comments that Teddy Atlas has came out and said on his podcast about Canelo Alvarez's, his opposition as of late. There's people that feel that Canelo's been bouncing around, picking the least the least opponents that he feels that he can beat, whether it's a champion or a non-champion, or people on the other side believe he could only face who has the belts. You know what I'm saying? Who is in front of him. Now, I'll be fair. I'll say this. That is true. You can only fight who's in front of you when it comes to like champions. Like, okay, I'm gonna just say it. It's not Canelo's fault that Caleb Plant ended up with the IBF belt. He took that belt off of Uzcategui, who's, he's a basic fighter himself. He's nothing to clap at. So I think the 168 division is kind of fragile, man. I think it's a weak division, and then I think that's that's one reason that people are giving Canelo Alvarez giving him a lot of hell, because they believe he's campaigning in a rather weak division. There could be other factors involved in why he's at 168. Could it be because he can't make the weight at 160 anymore to go? Is he avoiding the comp down there like Andrade or Charlo? Or because he fought at 175, so he can definitely fight at 168, 175. So a lot of people feel like that he should be able to make it to 160, take on those champs there. But when I sit back and then I look at all of this thing in the whole, man, as much as I don't really care for Canelo, and the reason why I don't is I don't like no fighter it's just me. Any boxer, I give them their props as far as their fighting skills, but I still question them when they choose rehydration clauses, when they do all these catch weights. I feel like if you're a real true champion and you believe in your abilities, you shouldn't have to put rehydration clauses on other boxers. You shouldn't have to put catch weights on boxers. And that goes for any boxer, man. That goes for Floyd Mayweather, Canelo, whoever else does that. It doesn't take away from their fighting prowess, but as far as me, it does leave a question mark, hanging over my head. Like, why do these dudes have to do this if they feel like they believe in their, if they have so much confidence in their fighting ability? Why do these dudes need to do that? And nobody can ever answer these questions for me. That goes for whoever. You know me, I don't side with nobody. That's why I'm Rebel Life, because I acknowledge the good, but I'm gonna call out the fuckery, regardless to who it is. And that's the difference and the problem with the Canelo fanboys. They let him get away with a lot of things that they say other boxers do, but he do the same exact thing, and nobody says nothing. That's the problem. Now, I don't know, pretty much Caleb Plant was weaker opposition. I was giving him a chance in that fight because I liked his movement. I thought he had some kind of dog in him, because I was going off of what he was saying. All these boxers talk tough, but then when they get in the ring, it's like a whole different person. All of them that has fought him, that ain't Canelo fault. All of them dudes has done that. Caleb Plant, Billy Joe especially, Callum Smith. These dudes get in there, they talk all this big stuff, and then when they get in the ring, they fold. Only one that hasn't done that is Triple G, and to an extent, Danny Jacobs. That's it. Avni Yildirim don't really count, so that's a whole other story. But I mean, if somebody wants to become undisputed and they want to be a champion, you can't really fault that guy for taking on whoever got the belts. When you think about it, and the dudes that Billy Joe Saunders fought to get the belt wasn't no world beater. The dudes that Caleb Plant fought to get the belt, he wasn't a world beater. It's just the way it is. I guess 168 is just like that. You know, the comps, the competition that the former champs took the belts from, they themselves kind of fought like weak or rocky competition. But that's not necessarily Canelo Alvarez's fault. You know, he's fighting he wants to be undisputed. Only way for him to have did that at 168 was to take on whoever had the belts. That's just that simple. That doesn't, I'm not gonna take that away from him, man. At the same time, though, a lot of people still wonder why he won't fight Demetrius Andrade if he's a terrible fighter. And people don't like the comment about him saying you just want a payday. I mean, who doesn't want a payday? That's why these dudes are boxing. That's why you boxing, because you want a payday, right? So everybody's boxing for a payday. So if this guy's a terrible fighter, he's talking, he pulled up to your thing, your little conference, go ahead and get him up out of there. Knock him out and keep on pushing and keep going through these dudes if you got confidence in your ability. But sometimes, man, I don't think Canelo and other boxers too that do the catch weight stuff. I'm a big anti rehydration clause dude. I'm anti catch weight. I don't like that. I don't like catch weights. I don't like rehydration clauses. To me, that's scared shit. To me, that's like you scared or something. You don't want the person to come in at their weight because you don't want to feel their punch or something. I'm looking at it like that. I don't care what fighter it is. So I kind of look at that real suspect. So he only could fight who's there. I can't there's nothing you could say to like really debate that. If 168 had real live dogs, like maybe like a 147 or something, or maybe at 154 like a Castano or something like that, then you could be like, all right, now he's you can't really take nothing from him, but you still can't take nothing from him when it comes to that, because like I said, it's a champion. Whoever got the belt, rather they tough or rather they're quality or they're not, you got to get the belt. It's just that simple. And a lot of people feel like, though, as well, that Canelo waits around for these lower level competition guys to get the belt from other lower level comp, or wait until the comp that they got the belts from, if they got it from somebody tougher, then he'll go ahead and go run after them, because the belt he feels like he can, they have nothing to offer as far as like the skill department or somebody he could beat. Just like with the Benavidez thing, they saying that as soon as Benavidez lost his belt, then Canelo went down to 168 to fight for it. So they saying he's skirting around fighters and stuff like that. And to the naked eye, it appears that way. But what it's looking like now is they're saying that he should be fighting Benavidez. And to be honest, I'm gonna be real, I don't even think he's fighting him next. If he does, it'll be a surprise to me. I think he's gonna fight Charlo next, because Charlo looks very vulnerable. And if you look back at a lot of Canelo fights, some of his fights as of recent, he'll see how somebody looks in the ring, and then he'll get in there with him, and then the rest is self-explanatory. You know what I mean? So, but in the grand scheme of things, man, you can't knock somebody for fighting lower level comp that has the belts. But Teddy Atlas is right when it comes to, it's a reason that a lot of people are saying this, and I just explained some of the reasons. There's other reasons too, but that's some of the reasons why people have issues with Canelo Alvarez, because they think he ages people out, or he uses hydration clauses or catch weights, and and he takes on fighters that he feels like they have nothing to really offer as far as really even coming close to beating him. But then at the same time, you look at him fighting Triple G. You can look at that two ways, okay? He fought Triple G. Triple G hits hard. He's a great fighter, has a good chin, right? Kind of like almost comparable on the Canelo Alvarez level, right? But then on the flip note, you'd be like, damn, but Triple G is much older than Canelo. He feel like Canelo was too slow, so that's why he wanted to take on Triple G. And then a lot of people be like, he went up to 175 to fight Sergey Kovalev, but why didn't he fight? Why didn't he campaign to fight Better Biev or Bivol? And a lot of people think the Kovalev fight was staged. I don't want to get into that in this video. You know, I got my own reservations on that. I'll probably make one like about that fight like down the line or something like that. But you can look at this on both ends, man. You can't take his as far as him being undisputed. He still went in there and he did fight and took the belt like a champion's supposed to do. It just so happens these dudes that he is fighting are weaker competition, but that's not necessarily Canelo Alvarez's fault as a whole, you know. So I just want to get you guys' opinion on this. Drop a comment, like and subscribe, man. This is Rebel Life Boxing. Get you guys later on the next one. I'm out. Peace.